who claims to have been abducted is Tim Cullen. In May 1978, Tim and Janet Cullen were driving home from Denver when a bright light appeared on the horizon.
Wow, look at that.
Suddenly, an unidentified flying object hovered right in their path.
It was large and cylinder-shaped and had multiple lights. It wasn't a helicopter and it wasn't an airplane. It wasn't anything I'd ever seen before. What is that?
Wow.
It's going to cross right over the road.
And the craft seemed to come back up toward the road. As it did that, I felt telepathic communication with the creatures inside. Has it changed me? Yeah, it's changed me. Do I find it easy to talk about? No, it'll probably never be easy. Because I know what I'm saying.
Tim believes the encounter led to his abduction, and although he has no recall of the experience, he believes he received an implant that continues to be monitored by aliens.
My arm used to buzz. The buzzing sensation was a little more regular and getting more intense. And as I was aware of it, I felt that it would be aware of some of my thoughts at times and my emotions and react to those.
Worried about the sensation he was experiencing, Cullen met with a doctor who examined his arm. An X-ray revealed that Tim had an object embedded in his left wrist.
I believe it's possible that this certainly could be an alien implant. I've been around Tim for the past almost 24 years, and whenever he's had an injury or a splinter in his finger, I've been there to remove it for him, and I think I would have known about it if he would have had an injury.
Reluctant to expose his experience to his personal doctor, Cullen turned to the Internet. 1 year later, his search led him to Dr. Roger Lear, a California podiatrist. Dr. Lear removes objects that patients suspect have been implanted by aliens and provides his service for free.
I am 100% convinced that, number one, these objects are placed in the human body by someone or being using a technology which far exceeds our, because we do not have the ability to put something in the body without making a portal of entry. That's just where it starts.
Dr. Lear carefully screens all his patients before considering an implant removal.
The individual must have a conscious recall of some involvement with a UFO or an abduction scenario.
Over the years, the number of qualified participants have multiplied. Tim Cullen meets the criteria and agrees to travel to Los Angeles to have the object removed by Dr. Lear.
When Tim had the surgery scheduled, I really wanted to go along with him because I'm a registered nurse and I wanted to make sure that everything was done, the right techniques were followed. But yes, I was apprehensive about it.
I am not afraid of anything, no matter how they come at it or what they do. I figured they'd studied me for 20 years. Couldn't prove it was an alien implant until it was taken out. You can say what you want, but you got to have proof,
Tim didn't want to tell anybody the story for 20 years for fear of reprisals against him and his family. This was a very compelling, human scenario which propelled me into doing something for him.
The day of the surgery, a group of ufologists and journalists assemble to witness the event. General Surgeon Dr. John Matriciano is on hand to perform the procedure. He is skeptical of making an alien connection to a piece of debris found in the human body.
I'm basically a non-believer. I think it's somewhat arrogant of us to think that if there were some creatures that come see us.
Don't breathe too much, you're going to pass out.
Cullen is numb for the entire procedure.
We'll make a small incision right here, not a big one. Did that hurt you?
No.
20 minutes later, a quarter-inch object is removed from his wrist. According to Dr. Lear, the first abnormal sign is the lack of a cyst surrounding the object, which in 20 years would have grown to the size of an almond.
In a normal situation where a foreign body has been inside the human body for a prolonged period of time, there's a fibrous cyst called an inclusion cyst that forms. In this case, there was none. There's a lot of stain.
Looks like a boy to me.
But Cullen's humor belies the importance that the object might mean in proving the existence of alien life and contact with the human species.
I really have to have it analyzed.
The object is placed in a plastic vial containing plasma from Cullen's blood to preserve it. To secure the evidence, the implant is sealed in a tamper-resistant vial in front of witnesses. Dr. Lear takes the specimen to be analyzed at Digital Instruments, a research laboratory near Santa Barbara, California. They agree to their first alien implant examination, viewing it as an opportunity to put their new atomic force microscope to the test.
So that's the sample here, and I'm going to put in a bit of epoxy here.
Dr. Irene Ravenko has a PhD in biology and is also a medical doctor. Under the microscope, the so-called implant appears to have some unusual traits.
I've never seen really this kind of pattern. I would guess that people who work on material science can see this kind of structure on some metal, maybe. But in biology, I've never really seen anything like that.
Puzzled by the lack of a fibrous cyst, she probes what looks like a thin membrane encasing the object.
We just got a little piece of this material and we're going to let it dry in air. This is what we get after a few minutes in air. And this part here is still very squishy, very soft. If I press on the other part of the tissue, here it's very hard. It looks like a resin, something like a plastic. I've never seen this before in human tissues.
A second opinion from a government laboratory that chooses to remain anonymous found the object to be highly unusual, amorphous, and magnetic, a combination that does not exist in any form of metal today. Exactly what this object is remains unclear, but Dr. Lear is hopeful that each removal brings us closer to the source of these objects, whether earthly or not.
Some of the things that we found in the implant surgery, such as the membrane, which seems to allow a foreign object to be placed in the human body and prevent the human body from rejecting it, I think is a most important thing. And if we could understand this better and duplicate it, why, we would have a tremendous benefit to medical science.